Okay, now I'm moving on to my next planning sheet. This is just the summary page for this year. At the top I'm going to list the goals, basically which classes and which subjects I'm going to cover for the girls this year. And then I've already started writing out some of the curriculum. So we do have Rebecca and Emma listed out as far as things they are doing by themselves. And then we will also have some subjects that they will be doing together. So I'm going to go ahead and write out what I'm covering. So here I have written out the goals. Rebecca obviously is the heavier one, being in 3rd grade. English, math, social studies, spelling, handwriting, typing, piano, and PE. And for Emma, English, math, handwriting practice, piano, which she is just starting this year. She's very excited. And again, PE. And together we are doing science. Now we will also be doing, Emma will sit in on the social studies as well, but she will not be doing the worksheets and things. So she will participate, but she won't actually be doing the work. And now moving down to curriculum, I need to fill those out. So this is what my curriculum list looks like. I did take some things out that we were doing last year, and I've changed some of the curriculum up. But rather than just run through the list, I'm going to show you what I have. Okay, so for Rebecca, for English and math, we are using Bob Jones University. So we have English 3 and Math 3. So pretty self-explanatory. Has the teacher's manual and the workbook. This was the nice thing. The nice thing this year was my son had also used the Bob Jones, so I actually did not need to rebuy the teacher's manuals. All I needed to do was buy the workbooks and the copies of the tests. So that was really nice, a big money saver. So that's a little tip if you have several children. And I know they had started changing up the versions of some of the books. So what I did when I was ordering Jonathan's when he was in 3rd grade, I did the one teacher book and then actually ordered 3 of the student material, so I would have them ahead for the girls. So actually this year I've had a minimal curriculum that I've needed to buy for that. Right, on to social studies. This is something brand new this year. We were using Bob Jones the last couple years. It's a good curriculum. It didn't quite work out with our family. I don't know, it just doesn't quite work for us. So this is something I did find online, and it's called Road Trip USA, A Journey Across the United States, and it is by Erica at confessionsofahomschooler.com. So I did purchase this online. It was $18 for the download, and then I printed everything out. So this is really neat. It actually runs through all of the 50 states. So you do like 2 states a week, and you learn some of the history of the United States, just a lot of the interesting information, a lot of geography. There's crafts and recipes for every state, which is really neat to me. So what we're doing for this is our social studies curriculum. But as well, this is replacing our art curriculum this year. And also, we usually do like reading units where I would take a book and I have, we would kind of study the same reading book and do different activities based on that. But this is going to replace that curriculum as well, because it's just so neat. Each lesson like has extra reading books to check out from the library. Well, let's see, and then it also has websites and all this. So this is a really neat curriculum. So I'm really excited to use this. It looks really fun. So this was the teacher's manual, and then here is the student notebook, and it has activities already ready to go, and little lap booking exercises and things to do for each state. So this is just a really neat curriculum. We're really excited about using this year. Alright, on to spelling. Again, using Bob Jones, but we're not using this in the traditional manner this year. I'm going to use the Bob Jones lists and plug them into the spellingcity.com is a awesome spelling practice website. You can put your own lists in. They also have some preset lists, but not a whole lot, not enough for a full year. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and use the lists out of this book. But yeah, you can use it as a free website, but there's also a paid part too that you get the premium activities and different features. So check out spellingcity.com. We've really loved it, and even my son, who goes to public school, would bring his list home and we would plug his list in there, and it has spelling games and review games, so that really helped him to study his list. Okay, so then on to handwriting. Now we're going into 3rd grade, so Rebecca really doesn't need to learn how to write. She knows how to write, but she definitely needs the practice on writing neatly. So I had gotten this a couple years ago with Jonathan, and I don't have the front cover. I actually took this book apart because it is a reproducible book. I wanted to have it for all 3 kids. So I just had taken the cover off so it would make for easier copying. But this is such a neat book. It's called by Scholastic, Handwriting Practice, Jokes, and Riddles. And what it is, and here if we look on the inside, it does have a couple practice pages with the alphabet, but then it moves into the practice pages, and you have a few words to practice at the top, and then there is a joke and an answer or a riddle to copy out onto the page. And Jonathan just loved this because he's such a jokester. He really likes being funny, and so does Rebecca. So I figured this is a fun way to practice their handwriting and get a little bit of a laugh as well. For instance, why should you stay inside when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle. Aha! You get the idea. So there's, I think, about 40 different practice pages in here. And then at the end, they can staple it together and have a little joke book. So that's really neat as far as handwriting. Something else that we are practicing and really working on this year is typing. It's really important in this day and age that our kids know how to type, especially when they do get into the higher grades and they're typing a lot of their assignments. We are just using Typing Instructor for Kids Platinum. We have used this in the past, and we're continuing to use it. It's just a neat little game, and the kids really like it. Alright, now on to piano. Now, I have a history of music. I played trumpet in the school band from 6th grade all the way through 12th grade, and I am now playing in an adult band. So I can read music, but I didn't feel qualified to teach my kids piano. I can play a little bit on the piano, very, very, very little, minimal. I took one semester of piano in college. But I really think that music is such an important part especially in early childhood education, to develop their brains and to give them a well-rounded education. Now, in a perfect world, we would be able to afford music lessons for all our kids. That is not happening. But I did find this was such a blessing. We found this several years ago. It's called Music for Little Mozart'S, and it follows the story. Let's see if I can find the guides. This year we actually went ahead and bought the little guides that go along with it. It follows the story of Beethoven Bear and Mozart Mouse in the music room, and how they learn about music and learn to play notes. Now it starts from the very beginning, from pianissimo and forte and soft and low and high sounds, and goes up eventually, so that the kids will be reading music on the grand staff and playing the piano. Also has a lot of music appreciation in this curriculum. I really love this, and I think there's 4 levels. I do believe there's 4 levels. Rebecca is on book 3 this year, so that's what she will be doing. So, you know, for instance, let's take a look. You know, left hand and right hand, bass clef and treble clef. You know, so it's got a lot of different, and it's just a really fun way to learn the piano. So I think even if you can't read music, there's a CD that goes along with this, and actually does the lessons. So you can learn to read music along with your child, which is really neat. Alright, and now on to PE. PE, we do not actually do a curriculum. We just try and stay active. We do struggle with this during the school year, during the school day, getting out and being active. So I did get this off a Pinterest board. All I did was write different ideas for activities on the cards, and then just put them together with a loose leaf ring. And let's look at some of these. The Wii, we'll do half an hour, 20 minutes or half an hour of an active game, maybe on Wii Sports or something. Playing catch. Play soccer, or our version of soccer with 2 kids and me. Basketball, we do have a basketball hoop that is in the backyard, so we'll go shoot baskets. Do a video. There's lots of different workout videos for kids at our local library, so maybe I'll go get those once in a while and do. Go for a 30-minute walk. A timed workout. This was another idea I had seen on Pinterest. Just, you know, the traditional aerobics and things, jumping jacks, running in place, push-ups, and just timing and then doing it to music. Snowball fight when it gets snowy here in Michigan. Go have a snowball fight, as well as build a snowman. These are the types of things that if they're not scheduled into our homeschool day, I don't do them. I tend to look past them. Oh, well, we need to get something else done. But if we have this built into our day to go out and get active, we're much more likely to do it. Play Frisbee. Now this one says relay race. So in our backyard, you know, run down to the fence and back. Now skip down to the fence and back. You know, jump. Run backwards. There's lots of different things you could do with that. This one is Emma's choice, and then Rebecca will also have a choice if she wants to pick a card to do. And the rest of them are blank. As I think of some more, I will fill it up. But that's basically our physical education. I'm not doing a health class or anything. We kind of incorporate that into our life anyways. With our cooking, I like to have now I don't do real well at it, but I like to have, if I can, have the kids help me cook, and they go grocery shopping with me and talk about healthy eating and being active and things. We just kind of try to incorporate that into our regular life. This young, I don't feel like they need a health class or a actually dedicated PE class where we actually have a curriculum. So that's it for Rebecca. This is Emma's portion of the curriculum. Again, for English and math, we're using Bob Jones University. We're using the Kindergarten Beginnings with phonics. So that incorporates English, and it incorporates reading, as well as phonics, handwriting. Now, this is a complete kindergarten curriculum. It does have lots of social studies. There's each lesson that goes through, I don't know, it goes through some history, and it goes through some different, firefighters. There's a theme for every lesson. It's a great, complete curriculum, especially if you're just doing a kindergartner. Then you would go ahead and you would do the whole lesson, and it talks, there's just heritage studies it talks about. So it's not just an English curriculum. This is actually a complete kindergarten curriculum minus the math. Because we have multiple children, I've never used the complete curriculum. I use it more for the English and the phonics. Because Emma will be sitting through the social studies and sitting through the science with Rebecca. I don't use that portion of the curriculum, but it certainly has it in it. And Bob Jones is great because it lays everything out, as far as the teaching is. So exactly what materials you need, exactly what to say, and the prep work and everything. So that's what we're doing for her. And we are also using the Math K5. Again, just a nice complete math curriculum. And these do come as well with the workbooks. This is the beginnings workbook, and then there's the work text, and there's also a phonics practice here. So there's two different workbooks for that part, and then there is another workbook for the math portion. So really, if you were doing a kindergartner, you could use this for the complete for a complete experience. It even has some art projects and things in here. Now, Emma this year is starting with her music for Little Mozart. She's starting in book 1. So she's very, like I said, very excited to start learning about the piano. So like the first lesson, how to sit at the piano, low sounds and high sounds. It doesn't really jump right into learning the music, but it's the basics of what is a piano and how it works, and moving up and down the keyboard. So it's just a really nice age to start in kindergarten or first grade for the music for Little Mozart's. So that's it as far as Emma's individual curriculum. The last thing I wanted to show you was our science for this year. And again, this is something brand new we're doing. We were using another curriculum the last couple years. We're getting we need a little bit of a break from it. So being as young as the kids are, it got a little bit complicated. So we're going to scale back a little bit this year on the science. Still learning a lot, still doing hopefully even more activities than we did last year. But I think this is really going to be a fun curriculum. This curriculum is based on the Magic School Bus. Now, someone has gone through, let's see, and I'll show you where I got this from, cornerstoneconfessions.com. So this was actually a free download, and someone has gone through and put all the Magic School Bus episodes into units. There's 13 units, and has gone through and found the different activities they have online and some extra experiments and stuff to go along, as well as the recommended books to read. So for instance, this is Unit 1 is Space, and so it says what episode to watch, and then it has all the activities to go along with it. And it just goes through 13 different, it's kind of a great overview of science as a whole. So it goes space, forces in the weather, energy, machines and buildings, in the home. So there's all sorts of units, like I said, a great overview of science. And in 180 days. So that will be our school year. So this is another really neat curriculum I found. Now it does take some printing. You have to go through on the computer and click the links and find all the different printable activities. So it's a little bit of prep work to do for that, but we're really excited. The girls are really excited about doing this curriculum for science, and they will be doing it together. Some of the stuff is a little bit more complicated for Emma, but she will do what she can to keep up. And it's actually geared for kindergarten, first and second grade students. Like I said, Emma's in kindergarten, Rebecca's going into third grade, but I figure we can still go ahead and do that with her. It'll be something fun for them to do together. So that's it as far as the curriculum. I am still figuring out what we're doing. I like to do what's called a morning gathering, where we're going to do maybe some devotionals together, praying together. We want to sing. I want to get into singing some worship songs together, and then some verse memorization. We have not been great about that. We usually start out really good for the first few months, and then we kind of fall off. So I'm still working on putting that together, and I'll show you that when I get it all set. But that's basically it as far as what we're doing academic-wise for the school year. So I hope that kind of gives you a jumping off point if you're looking for ideas. I always like looking at other people's curriculum choices and why they chose certain curriculum. Not everything works for every family, so you that's the nice thing about homeschooling, is you don't have to stick with one exact publisher or anything. I did in the beginning just because it was easier to just order the whole box and have it come. But now that I'm getting a little bit more experienced, piecing together from year to year really works for us with the ages of our kids and what we're doing. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I will show you as I move on in my school year planning, and I will see you next time.